All right, back for another week on the DSP. First time checking in with this young artist, Byron Bay born in Sydney right now. His name is Asher. He joins me. How you doing, my bro?
I'm great, bro. I'm great. Living good. How are you?
Look, I'm great. It looks like you're in the studio. You cooking up at the moment?
Yeah. I just quickly jumped out in the session with BYs at the moment. Just jumped out to a boardroom now. But yeah, cooking up.
B-Wise is DSP alum. We had him on maybe a month ago, and he's so in pocket right now with what the sound is and moving. How's it in the studio working with him,
bro? I mean, I've been working with him for a minute now. He's been helping me a lot with my live performances and that. So yeah, I mean, it's the first time we've been in the studio together, but he's a great guy. He's got the sauce. He's dope.
He does have the sauce. And it's great to see, because I talked with him a lot about his mentors that worked with him and kind of helped him groom to where he is and have really, paved the path. So it's dope to kind of hear he's doing that with you, kind of helping you with his insight and what he's been doing.
It's been dope for me, coming up in the Australian industry and being able to see people like him, and what he's been doing and, the moves he's been able to make, etc. And, I'm really grateful that he's been able to, pass down some knowledge to me. And, there's so much to learn, and, learning from the best is great. So, yeah.
You picked an interesting year, 2020, to really take music seriously, bro. How did it turn out for you? Did it go as planned, or what was the deal?
It was definitely the first year of me really taking this shit to a whole nother level, putting my head down and working. And I think I'm actually quite lucky that it was my first year doing that, because, if I was somewhere, like talking about B-Wise, if I was somewhere in his position, having gone on tours, doing all this stuff, they couldn't do any of that. For me, I wasn't in the position to do live shows yet. I wasn't going out about all the time. I was really locking in my room. So I think in that retrospect, it was actually in a way a blessing for me, because I had this excuse to work every single day in my room, lock in and not do anything else. So, it was an awful year for everybody, but, I was able to take away the positives of it and, just lock in. So, yeah.
I guess that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's all about finding the silver lining, and 100%. It seems that you have managed to do that. You dropped out of school to do this music seriously.
Facts.
Tough decision for you, or just, really you knew it was the move?
I knew from day one. It was a tough for my parents, I'll tell you that. I did well. I was good at school. I always got good marks. But I don't know, ever since I started, I don't know, I was like 15, 14 or something. And I had this mate who, he was this entrepreneur, right? And he just was able to find all these ways to like make money without using school and going to uni and all this sort of thing. And I was like, I want to do that. I don't want to go to school, do uni and do that pathway, And I'm like, how am I going to be able to do something that doesn't require me to do the whole schooling journey? I feel like I just didn't think that was for me. And as soon as I started doing some stuff with music, I'm like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I want to do, And I have this thing where, like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it and do it until I'm the best at it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, this is my calling. This is my pathway. I don't want to be at school. I don't be wasting 6 hours a day for where I could be using those 6 hours to create music and get better at my craft. So, for me, it wasn't a very difficult decision after looking at it like that.
Did the parents support it?
They did, and that was the best thing, because I could not have imagined, being in like a tussle with my parents about that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it took a bit of convincing, but I was able to explain it to them how I saw it, and they saw the vision and they saw it too. So. It worked.
I guess you're as good at convincing as you are at writing and producing.
Clearly.
It's both very creative things needed.
Yeah, no, facts. I spent so long in my room, like, how am I gonna say? How am I gonna ask? How am I gonna do this? But hey, it worked. I'm so grateful. One of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad you made it as well, and it allows you to really focus on the music side of your life and your new career.
100%.
Producing, engineering, writing, all of that. You do it all. Is that because you love each element of it, or was it a necessity that you kind of had to do it?
Both, I think. Because I had all this time on my hands, and my mom and dad were like, all right, if you're gonna leave school, you're gonna spend all the 7 hours a day doing it. And so I'm like, I'm gonna learn everything. It was also because growing up in Byron, there's not much of a music scene there, right? There's a lot of like surf rock and that sort of thing, but nothing that I was sort of diving into. And so I didn't have anyone really to work with. So I'm like, how am I going to sound like this guy and that guy? How am I going to actually sound professional without having anyone professional to do it with me? So, I had this time, I had this drive, and I'm like, I'm going to learn everything. And I think it's gone hand in hand with, working with people too, because now I'm able to actually work alongside producers and engineers and tell them what I want and this sort of thing. Whereas, I know some people who don't know how to produce or engineer, and it gets quite difficult working with producers, engineers, etc. when you're not really knowing what to do. So
how did you, find your sound and I guess study who you like? Like you listen to the track Idols you put out, you talk Tory, you talk Kendrick, Lil Durk, all those artists. Where did you kind of, find who Asher was?
By doing that and trying to sound like those people. I spent a time where I was like, I need to sound exactly like Tory Lanez. And I tried so hard, and I mixed myself, and I tried to sound like Tory Lanez. And then I went like, no, this isn't working for me. I'm going to sound like Lil Durk. And then eventually, as I got more confident in my voice and in my ability, I started just, sneaking away from my idols and sounding like them. And, I guess I've kind of found a way to blend all of my idols and all the people I listen to and create my own sound out of it with my own twist on it.
It's dope that you say that, because I really do feel like you do have your own lane and you sound different and you surround yourself. And before we jumped on, started recording, we were talking about a lot of the crew that you're running with at the moment. Yeah. And, I feel like you each have your own sounds, like talking about Mason Dane, you talk about Creed the Kid, Day One, Be Wise, who you're in the studio with at the moment. Yeah. You wrote on your socials, it's been an inspiring year to see everyone around me win, and you can't really wait until what is going to happen in 2021. Yeah. How important has that team and the people around you been over the last year?
It's been life-changing. I think I would not be here where I am sitting here talking to you if it wasn't for those people around me. The amount of creative juice that I get from being around all those people every day is unbelievable. I think we've all been able to help each other grow an amazing amount just by, bouncing off each other and, learning our tricks and tips and helping each other. And, I think that's one of the best things that you're able to take out of this is, improving and working together and, all coming up as one, I guess. That's, it's the best part of it, being able to hang out with those people every day, it's crazy. It's dope.
How good is it to be able to kind of, I guess, share those wins? You know what I mean? To support each other as they release, and then to know you're going to get that love back.
It's amazing. It's the stage where it's like, if Mason, seeing Remy pop off the way it did, get like 50K first week or something like that ridiculous, was like, I felt that a win for me. It's a win for the whole community. It's a win for everyone. And, seeing my brothers win is just as good as seeing myself win. You know what I mean? So it's dope. And it's crazy to be able to hang out with people like that who have so much talent and who are going crazy places. And yeah, it's amazing.
That's dope to hear. I love hearing that, you're really sharing those moments and creating that community, because it's really important, especially as you continue to move forward as well. You've got this new track out, Drip. We're going to get to that in a moment, but I want to talk about Manifest first. I normally don't like hearing an artist really talk about things that they haven't gone through yet.
Yeah.
You know, where they're talking about women, money, cars, all that stuff. But you did it in such a smart, intelligent way, and talking about what you want to manifest.
Yeah.
Where did that idea kind of come from? Because I haven't really heard it very many times like that.
It came from pretty much what you just said. Is I hate hearing that people rap about things they don't have. People rap about all this money and stuff that they don't got and whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Let me do it, but let me do it in an inspirational way. And let me do it as a way, you know, for me to be able to look back on, you know, in 3-4 years' time and be like, wow, I've really done that, you know? And I think that was the big thing about it, is like, it's a way for me and my fans and my followers to be able to, in 3, 4, 5 years' time, be like, you remember when he released that Manifest song, and look what he's doing right now. Like, you know, I'm a huge believer in manifestation. And, you know, I'm like, this is a way that I can put something out there so I can be like, look at that. You know what I mean? Look what I was saying I'll do, and look at me do it.
Mate, it was such a smart move on the Idols music video. I want to say the way that you put that together and the execution was such a high quality. It really played into the actual lyrics and the words and elevated it. You know, how did that whole project come together?
Shout out my guy in the UK for Urban Animations, I think his name is. Absolutely killed it on the video. I think we just had this idea. We really wanted a video with it. And, you know, it was such a, I guess, powerful song, a strong song lyrically, and it meant a lot to me. And, you know, we didn't really know how to execute it with me in it, you know what I mean, as in person. We didn't really know how to go about it. But, you know, we all the team sort of brainstormed and came up with this idea of, you know, how about we look at me being this cartoon person and, you know, I guess having all my idols pop up, and I don't know, we just had this crazy idea of someone, you know, drawing all my idols and, you know, recreating them and having me, you know, chat to them or whatever. And the product was ridiculous. You know, I still go back and watch that video because I'm just like, wow, this is sick. And yeah, I think it came out great.
I've been involved with music videos like that, and I know how much work goes into putting something like that together. What was your first reaction when you got sent a cut from it?
Because he sent out like a really rough, it was like not the colors and stuff. It was really rough sketch, and I'm like, even this is crazy. Yeah, I'd seen some of this guy's work, and we were like, yeah, this is dope. Like, we want him. And I guess I didn't expect, I knew it was going to be dope, but I did not know how dope it was going to be. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is it was a shock. I was like, damn, I'm privileged.
It's dope to see that. I feel like, you know, you must have the right people around you, and your eye is so in pocket, because everything that you are releasing and you're doing is at that level that can be globally digested, which is very important for the scene and the group and the people that I think are coming out of music at the moment in Australia. You just released this brand new song. It's called Drip. Is this you all over the production, or who's producing this one?
So that was produced my brother, 1240, my bro from the States. Me and him, he produced Idols and Poppin'. So he's all over me. Me and him been working from the jump, since I first started making music. And, you know, I've had this vision of, you know, I'm not going anywhere without him. And he's the GOAT at that sort of production too, that happy upbeat, Lil Uzi sort of vibe. So yeah, he's on production for that one with this loop maker from somewhere in Europe, Nono, who's crazy on the loops. They sent me that beat, and
the beat has so many layers on it that sometimes I wouldn't believe could, I guess, work together. Yeah. But somehow they all congruently move this track along.
Crazy. I could sit there and listen to that beat all day. Just the beat. It's crazy.
So how was, I guess you got sent that beat. How was the turnaround time between you going, all right, I got to get on this, and finishing this product?
Whenever I hear dope beats and stuff that sounds like that, wavy, whatever, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, this is me. I'm jumping on this right now. And certain songs, like if I'm writing a really like deep, personal, really meaningful track, it's gonna take me time. It's gonna really take me to deep dive into it, and take me hours and hours. But certain songs, and I remember when I got sent this beat too, I was like, I just gone through a run. I've made like 5, 6, 7 songs, just really like deep shit. You know what I mean? And like personal stuff. And I'm like, I just want to talk some shit real quick. You know what I mean? And I got this beat. I'm like, perfect. So I'm like, I'm gonna just talk my shit. I'm gonna just have some fun with it. Make a song that people can just like vibe to and have a bit of fun. Pool party, whatever. And when it's like that, it just happens quick. I made that in like an hour max. So yeah.
Taking a stab in the dark, I feel like one of your posts that you put up on Instagram the other day at a pool, a house that looked pretty baller. Is that where the music video is shot?
We don't have a music video for this one, actually, which is annoying. I know. It was we were really tossing up about it, to be honest, because it's the perfect track for it. But hey, if it blows up, if the people do their thing, then we might have to film one. So
there you go. You have to head back to that house and film the music video, I reckon. So like, what's the next move for you? It's 2020 was your real building year, I guess, and learning the scene and getting your name out there. What's the move? Are you ready to hit the stage and do performances, or do you want to kind of just continue to drop music and kind of see it kind of play out?
I'm both. I've actually got my first ever show coming up April 30th in Sydney, Lord Gladstone, with Mason Dane. It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be great. My first show ever. But yeah, for this year, for the rest of 2021 and moving forward, it's going to be a whole lot of shows, a whole lot of music, a whole lot of collabs. You know what I mean? Getting my name out there, and just building it, grinding. You know what I mean? The more I've got so much music that I'm ready to put out there. It's gonna be regular drops, and yeah, I guess just sort of building the buzz and getting my name out there, and hopefully something catches. We'll see.
Love it, bro. We'll keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're in pocket. You're sounding amazing. And the product, like I said, and the execution is at a high level. So you've always got a place here on the DSP. We're going to go crazy with this track Drip until we get that next drop from you. It's Asher. This is brand new music. Go get it everywhere. Stream it. And I appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you for having me.